How are you feeling about meeting my parents tomorrow before our wedding? Are you worried at all about how things will go?
That's right. I am very worried about it, and it's got me feeling like I have butterflies in my stomach. This will actually be my first time ever meeting your parents in person as well. I really hope things go over very well for me when they get to see the real me.
Well, about that whole you meeting my parents thing tomorrow. My dad might just be a little bit rude with you at first, or at least he'll be coming off that way. But you don't have to worry about him at all, as that's just who he is. Just listen to what he has to say, and then you can ignore it forever after tomorrow.
Huh? You think he's going to be coming off a bit rude towards me tomorrow? What will he be doing to me?
Well, you could say that both my parents are a bit stuck in the past. And when it comes to one of their kids getting married, they may see that as a little lonely for themselves. And I feel that because of that, my dad may be a bit of a hard butt towards you. Actually, I can already imagine what he'll say to you. My dad is the worst of both my parents. He's really thick-skulled.
Is that right? I didn't know that about either of them, actually. They have put in a lot of work raising you into the young man you are now, so I'm sure they want you to be with someone who treats you just as important. I understand. I'll do my best not to worry about what he says to me.
Just know that the fact that you and I are pretty much married now makes me super happy. And I think the two of them understand that very much as well. And I'll let them know that's how I'm feeling again, when we go out to see them both.
I'm assuming that your dad is the type of man that'll be happy to see that his son is happy with me. That's why I'm not all too worried about that.
Well, I'm not worried about him. Being happy over me being happy is the thing.
Wait, what do you mean by that?
Well, just make sure not to be too outgoing about yourself tomorrow, okay? I don't want to have to be left with having to explain everything about you to my mom and dad.
I know that, and I promise I won't speak too much. That stuff shouldn't really be talked about anyway in front of both your parents when this is supposed to be about our marriage and wedding.
Well, as long as we're both on the same page about that, then I'm good. I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
I'm feeling just as excited and also a little worried still. I hope everything goes over well with them both.
If you want to stay out of trouble, you're never to come over to my house again. I don't want you anywhere around my son either, alright? What were you trying to do, you lowlife? Getting that close to my son?
I never actually expected that you'd have that kind of a behavior today around me.
I acted and did everything any loving father would do for their son.
You feel that spilling scalding hot tea onto your son's fiancé right after they both decided they would get married was something a loving father should do? You're saying that other fathers do the exact same thing to their sons' fiancés?
You're acting like it's not common sense. I'm not going to listen to someone with the least common sense about whether I have it or not. Have you still not realized just how far you are from having even an ounce of common sense in that head of yours? Did me pouring all that hot tea over your head still not open your eyes to that reality?
To be honest, I have no idea what all of that was about, Thomas. I literally don't have a single clue as to why the father of my fiancé would be so upset with me that he'd do something like that.
Ethan was using my family's money for someone like you.
Excuse me?
Well, I'm not going to let my son feel as though he can make you his wife. I will not allow the marriage of you two to happen. I've already told Ethan about all of this. So there is nothing left you can do besides leaving my family alone.
Ethan seemed to be really upset with what you did to me and pretty speechless.
But in the end, he has always listened to what I tell him, so there won't be any problems there.
Do you really think that's going to be the case for you two? You really expect him to give up on wanting to marry me?
I do. You think that he's going to let you marry him now, after what I told him? Well, I guess you would think so, since you have no common sense in that head of yours. But, if you thought about it with just a hint of common sense, you'd realize that nobody is going to want to marry somebody who is $200,000 in debt.
Huh? I'm in debt that much?
Did you think that I'd never be able to find out about that? I think my son tried his hardest to make sure my wife and I would never be able to see that. But we both were able to guess that you have something wrong with you. And it so happens that something is you being in extreme debt.
Hold on for a moment, Thomas. I understand that you want to think something like that of me, but you have it all wrong.
You can only get so far trying to make me think that I'm the one that has it all wrong. You are $200,000 in debt, all right? That kind of debt is not something somebody can easily hide from others. And what makes all this worse is that to pay it all off, you've been trying to get my son to take the family money and give it all to you. What a witch you are. I'm already trying to decide whether my family should sue you for something like that. Or not, but Ethan keeps telling me to stop thinking like that. My son really made a stupid mistake by bringing you around us. But even if he didn't see you were using him, my wife and I have. And we don't want you here.
Do you think you can stop it with all these horrible comments you're making about someone you don't really know? Do you even care to listen to the truth from me even right now?
Stop it! I don't want you anywhere near my son ever again, you hear me? If I hear that you've been around him again after today, I will really take you to court and sue your butt!
Sue me? And how the hell do you plan to sue someone like me? You'd have to have rock-solid facts about me first for the judge to even want to listen to your claims.
I wanted to ask something of you as well. I'm not sure at all about how you were able to get my son to come to your indebted side. Did he really think it'd be alright marrying you when you are $200,000 in debt? I will not be allowing any more talk about you both getting married. So get out of my house, right now!
Your son is the one in debt right now, Thomas.
What?
And also, I've been out of your house for a long time now. What the heck are you even going on about right now? Since you've already come this far claiming I was the one in that kind of debt, to the point you'd pour hot tea on me, I'm totally over wanting to be around you all. I'm totally fine with my engagement to Ethan being done with. But in return for no longer being able to marry him, I want my money back.
What the actual hell have you been going on about with those last few messages? The only one with any debt right now is you!
Nope, not me. I'm really not sure whether anything I'm saying is getting through that thick skull of yours, but the only one that's been in any kind of debt has been Ethan. Now how about you go ahead and talk with him about it instead of me?
You idiot! There's no way on earth that my son is in debt!
Also, we had planned with this marriage that I'd be able to pay off all his debt, and in return, for the rest of the time, he'd slowly be able to pay me back for doing such a kind thing for him. That was our deal.
Huh?
Both of my parents happen to have a lot of properties, and they both know about how your son has been in debt this whole time. At first, they didn't want to let him marry me, but then they realized that we're both still young and can find a way to handle the debt. So they helped out by giving some of their money to him as a start to paying off the debt.
Your parents have that kind of money? And you're telling me that they're helping with paying off that $200,000?
That's absolutely right. And we had all worked so hard to make this plan up, and I thought we were all totally in the clear. But now you're trying to blame me for being the one trying to take money from your family?
Well, he was telling me that he wanted to pay you back with some of the money.
And that was all a huge lie by him. I'm not the one in debt, and he still has to hand over the rest of the money at some point. Why would someone like me, who was born into a wealthy family and has had everything she ever wanted while growing up, be in such great debt and need the help of someone else's family to pay it off. My parents would help me in a heartbeat if I really needed money.
So then, wait a second. My son's been the one in debt this whole time?
I have been trying to tell you that this whole time. I understand that you didn't want to blame your son and wanted to think it was me. But do you really think that I'd be lying to you about him being the one in debt when I'm the one choosing to marry him for his sake? If you took a moment to think this all through, you'd probably get what's been going on here.
I can sort of see now what you're getting at. But my son has really been the one in debt this whole time? I really cannot believe what I'm hearing.
He's already gotten $200,000 or so from us, but there are times where he still asks me for money for God knows what. He might be sick or something, thinking he can just keep borrowing money and expect someone else to pay it back for him. Well, I'm not going to work with him anymore, so he'll have to find someone else to help him out now. And if you still don't believe what I've been saying, let me grab my parents and have them show you the proof. I'm through with all you guys, and this marriage that Ethan and I wanted is no more. This is all wonderful for you, right? In the end, you were able to get things exactly the way you wanted them.
Wait a second. All of what you've said to me has been a little off. Actually, it's all completely off from what I thought and heard.
And that's why I'm asking you to talk with your son about all of it. I'm tired of having to tell you all about what's been going on with your own son. Everything I've said so far has all been true, so just deal with him now, please.
I just spoke with my son about it. And you are right. Everything you've said to me all seems to be very sound. I might have happened to think the wrong things about you, but can we both agree that this is all your fault for acting in a very odd way around us?
What? What the actual frick are you trying to say now? You think I was trying to act all out of line or something in order to make you get the wrong idea of me? Your little shut-in of a son was the one that chose to never tell you the truth about himself sooner, which led to you thinking it was me. And when you found out about there having been $200,000 of debt, you automatically blamed me for it, and that's why you drenched me in hot tea, right? Yet since finding out the truth, you still haven't apologized for that and are only trying to make things even worse than they need to be.
You think I should be the one to apologize to you?
Well, who else should be the one to do it, You were the one that dumped that tea onto me for no reason, and you think I'm going to ask your wife to apologize to me for it or something? Get real, Thomas. I'm not even the one that's in debt. If anything, I'm your guys' knight in shining white armor that saved you from all having to pay off your own son's debt.
Well, I never knew anything about you and your parents doing that. I was just fooled by whatever my son had been lying to me about this whole time.
So how about instead of trying to blame me for you not knowing that he was the one who was in debt this whole time, you blame him. He was the one lying to you about it, and that's what led to you thinking I was the problem. Well, at this point, it doesn't really matter who you blame anymore. The marriage is no longer going to be happening, and that means we all want our money back in full.
Huh? You want it all back in full?
And all in one payment, please. All that $200,000 we gave to him back in one lump sum payment, please and thank you. And since it doesn't seem like Ethan will be the one paying us that kind of money right now, it seems you'll have to be the one to take responsibility for it.
Hold on for 2 seconds, Lisa. What are you even talking about right now? You want somebody to pay you $200,000 in one payment? That's ridiculous!
Well, my family and I have been the ones giving that money to him. But now that Ethan and I are breaking up, we want that money we lent to him back right now. And if he's not going to be able to give that money back to us, then it's up to his family to take care of it for him, right?
But that's a whole $200,000! You think my family has that kind of money lying around? I told you that it was my son using our money to pay you back, right? so I don't have that much money to give you right now. If you would have just thought about that first, you wouldn't be speaking like an idiot right now.
Thought about it first? I'm sorry, but you never did think before throwing that tea onto me, right? So I'm sorry, but I'm no longer going to think of anything while considering your guys' unfortunate situation now.
But I'm telling you that right now, it's impossible for us to pay you back. We have no money in our savings, even amounting to that large of an amount.
Then I'll get a waiver ready for you to sign saying you are indebted to me $200,000. And later my lawyer will be over to confirm it and have you sign it.
What? A lawyer?
I have a feeling this will need to be taken to court at some point, and if that has to happen, you'll also need to pay the court fees once you're told you need to pay me that money. I suggest you find a way to get that money to me really soon, okay?
But a lawyer? And you want me signing things to make my debt to you official? What the hell is going on here?
I'm expecting that you'll pay me that $200,000 very soon here. And to make sure that you don't run from it, I'm having your debt be watched by the court system. And when it comes to the amount I'm asking for and the reason behind it, I'd like that money back in one full payment, please. So please get that money together for me.
I can't be signing some kind of document like that over $200,000! Other people will begin to find out about it, and I'll really be in hot water!
I'm sure that right now your face is going ghostly white. To think that the person you just spilled hot tea all over happened to be the same person saving your son from all his debt. Really, your son is the one at fault for ever getting into that much debt in the first place, but after you played along with his crap, you're going to be the one taking the brunt force of his debt.
Lisa, I'm telling you that I had the total wrong idea about all of this. It was just an unfortunate mistake on my part.
Oh, I know that. I know about all of that very well.
I really just thought that you had to be the one with all that debt, and that's why I behaved so horribly in front of you. But really, this is all my son's fault. You can't blame me for any of it, right?
I can't? What are you trying to say to me right now, Thomas?
I want you to just get back together with Ethan now, and then you and I can talk this over some more. I feel like that's the best idea for all of our sakes.
No, that's not going to happen now, so I have to say no.
Huh? Why can't you do this for us?
You think after the way I've been treated by you and Ethan, I'd just let it all go into the past? You know dang well that's never going to happen. You poured really hot water all over my head and never said sorry for it. And then you continued to call me the low-life loser for being in debt that I don't have.
And having heard how you feel about that, I'm truly sorry for my behavior. I didn't mean for any of that to be mean towards you. Let's just think about our futures now, and get together to talk things through seriously. I really made a mistake by not understanding things, right?
Shut the hell up and understand this, you old idiot. No matter how many times you ask for me to do anything for you now, the answer is a big N-O. I don't even want to be married anymore now. And having to imagine being family with you guys makes me want to throw up. Trying to make things not look as bad as they were is not going to change anything for you. I want that $200,000 in one big payment, and I am going to make sure you are held to that standard.
Wait a second, though. Even Ethan wants to apologize now. You still want to be with Ethan forever, right? Just get back together with him, and become close to us as your family again.
Jesus Christ, man. I can see you've totally started to lose it, so before I start saying things that would be seen as a bit suspicious, I'm going to go. It's over for you, Thomas, and I want you to tell your son that as well. If you don't have the money to pay me, then sell your house tomorrow or something. Goodbye now, Thomas. Sucks that you're the one that'll be stuck with your stupid son and all that debt of his now. In the end, Ethan was in tears and tried countless times to get me to make up with him. But my love for him was long gone now, and I was not going to listen to his want for me anymore. Thomas tried to talk to me with his son to get me to come back, but I told him that he's only solidified my choice even more, and that it was game over for the both of them. And soon after saying that, my lawyer got in touch with him, and after that I never had to get another text from either one of them again. Ethan tried to tell his dad not to get in the way of things anymore, but that only pissed Thomas off even more with him. And right now, their whole family is in shambles. As of right now, Thomas is freaking out, trying to get the money together to pay me back that $200,000. And I have to say, I am so happy I never married into that crappy family. I know that right now things may not be that great for either one of those two, but maybe once he's paid me that money I wanted back, Thomas might realize he needs to kick Ethan out of his house, and then never bother anyone else ever again.